सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम श्री रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। नमः श्री सच्चिदानंद नमः श्री शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलास महामोह ग्राहग्रासैक कर्मणे। ओम श्री विद्यारण्य स्वामिने नमः। हरि ओम। Today we are looking into Tripti Dipa on the third day of this month of Vedanta Shravana Sadhana Yagna. Today is the 89th day we are doing this. This Tripti Dipa Prakarana is from Panchadashi chapter 7, written by Swami Vidyaranya Swami, and Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayanandaji's commentary is available with our Chinmaya Prakashan, Chinmaya Mission Trust publications. We saw yesterday from the Upanishads on the power of discrimination between who am I and what is not I. Ultimately, we reach to a state of feeling and feeling of joy, feeling of love, feeling of bliss. And that feeling or the enjoying that is happening has got an enjoyer. And the enjoyer is different from the enjoying or the object enjoyed. That feeling which is enjoyed. And who is that enjoyer? That was what was discussed in the previous verses which we saw yesterday. Now, this chapter, there are a few verses which look into the illusory nature of the enjoyer. Is there anybody called the enjoyer at any moment of time? Yes or no? We will see at the end of these verses. 216. Evam vivechite tattve vijnanamaya shabditaha chidabhaso vikariyo bhoktritvam tasya shishyate. The self or atma or consciousness devoid of any kind of an upadhi or limitation, limiting adjuncts, is always free. It is not touched by any experience. For example, there is a lamp which is burning bright in space. The space is not touched by the lamp. The space is not burnt by the lamp. You pour water in space a little bit. You pour water. The space is not wet by the water. Evam vivechite tattve vijnanamaya shabditaha. One who is known as a vijnanamaya, the person who knows. When we understand this tattva, evam vivechite tattve vijnanamaya shabditaha chidabhasaha. This is the reflected consciousness, chidabhasaha, vikari. This reflected consciousness is modifying all the time. When the light of the sun falls on a sheet of water and splashes on the wall nearby, the image of that sunlight, it is sunlight, no doubt. It is a reflection of sunlight through water, but that reflection is always changing. It is not steady because the substance on which it is reflecting is not steady. vikari yaha bhoktritvam tasya shishyate. So that person remains to be known as the enjoyer. Who is the enjoyer? The Vijnanamaya Kosha, or the one who knows. Who is the Vijnanamaya? The one who distinguishes between the self and not self. There is a layer, a thin layer of thought, a thin layer of knowledge which separates what is the self and what is the not self. And this thin layer of knowledge is what is modifying all the time, and it is shining with that reflected consciousness. And that alone remains to be known as the bhokta or the enjoyer. Is there any enjoyer at any point of time? We say the water is pouring as rain. It does not touch space anywhere, but it touches the skin and we experience. So there is a layer that shuts out the water from the sky, covering the body, and that is the skin. So the skin is what experiences it. In the same way, this is about gross matter. Here we are talking about subtle matter of experience of joy, experience of love, or any other experience in this way, any other feeling that we experience. So what is the thin layer that separates the self from the experience? The thin layer is the Vijnanamaya Kosha, or the layer of knowledge. We say, I know, I experience joy. That layer, it's very subtle. That alone remains to be called the bhokta, bhoktritvam. That has got the quality of the enjoyer, because there is some experience there, there is some knowledge there, there is some feeling there. How real is the individual self? This individual self is the bhokta, the one individual person who is experiencing that emotion or feeling or the sense input or the emotion. Mayikoyam chidabhasaha shruteranubhavadapi indrajalam jagat proktam tadantah patyayam yataha mayikaha ayam chid abhasaha. Chid abhasa is the reflected consciousness, the Vijnanamaya. Chidabhasaha Shrutehe Anubhavadapi. In the experience of the Shrutis. Shrutis are proofs, pramana, of somebody live talking about some experience, or which have been recorded in books and have been transferred from generation to generation of seekers. In the Shruti Anubhava, in the experience of Shruti, this Chidabhasa, this reflected consciousness, is a product of Maya. Maya, Mayika. Product of Maya means, Maya is that sankalpa of Ishvara. Ishvara is the powerful ruler of this universe. How does he rule this universe? He has got Maya or thought or sankalpa in his control. He molds Maya in such a way that he gains victory in this universe. He is able to administer, he is able to manage. What is this administration of universe all about? The birth of human beings, the birth of animals, plants, the nourishment of all animals, plants, human beings, nourishment of life, the birth of the cosmos, the spinning of the maintenance of the cosmos, all the planets that are spinning around themselves and spinning around each other and moving in a pattern around the sun. Everything is Ishvara's administration. And not only that, even the world of human affairs, the highest control is Ishvara. The making, shaking and breaking finally is done by Ishvara. And how does he do it? Mayikaha. He uses Maya Shakti, that is the power of Sankalpa. Earlier it has been spoken in Tripti Dipa. Mayikaha ayam That is Chidabhasa, the Ishvariya Shakti or the Vijnanamaya, which is operating in the power of Sankalpa, is reflecting that consciousness as if there is something. It is like the territorial waters in the ocean, the nautical miles belonging to particular countries, and the maps belonging to particular states in the country, the maps that separate different states in India, or the maps that separate the different countries in the world. There are no lines on the earth. There are no real lines. But those lines are still existing, and they are considered sacrosanct, and they are protected. And when there is infiltration, the infiltrators are pushed out of those lines. All these are all the Maya Shakti of the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Chidabhasaha. Indrajalam Jagat Proktam. This whole world of movement of names and forms is a magic show. Indrajalam, the web of Indra or the web of a magician. Indrajalam Jagat Proktam Tadantaha Pati Ayam Yataha. Tadantaha, inside that, protected, Pati Ayam. This Chidabhasa is a product of Maya. This is the opinion of the scriptures, and from our experience also, this is proved. It is not only scriptures, we can also see it for ourselves. The world is said to be like a magic show in which is included, or this magic show is protected by this Chidabhasa. We are experiencing this whole world as the world because of the presence of this Chidabhasa or reflection of consciousness. The Shruti declares that the individual self is illusory. In the commentary on the Shweta Ashvatara Upanishad, Sri Adi Shankaracharya says that Maya alone creates the nature, creates a distinction between the individual and the total, the Jiva and Ishvara. What is that verse? Jiveshau abhasena karoti mayam sayeva mayam parimohitatma shariramastaya karoti sarvam. The Kaivalya Upanishad says that same Maya, Jiva Ishau, Abhasena Karoti. This Maya is that which distinguishes between Jiva and Ishvara. That this is the thought pattern, thought sankalpa, or the ignorant thought, in the case of avidya, of the Jiva. The ignorant thought of the Jiva and the sankalpa of Ishvara is what creates a difference between Isha, Ishvara and Jiva. They are just differences in thoughts. There is no difference in reality. Jiva, Ishvara difference. The distinguishing between Jiva and Ishvara is caused by this Maya Abhasa. In the Drikdrishya Viveka also, there is this verse, Ahamkara laye suktau bhaved dehopya chetanaha ahamkara vikasardhaha swapna sarvastu jagaraham. Ahankara laye suktau. In the state of sleep, this ahankara or this body consciousness is sleeping. The body, I am the body thought, goes to sleep at the time of sleep. Bhavid, and when this thought goes to sleep, this body looks like as if it has got no consciousness. It is just lying down. In sleep, there is no awareness, there is no movement unless somebody is poking or pricking or making some loud noise. When that awareness awakes. Ahankara. Ahankara is that energy, that prana, which is not aware of itself, and that is what goes to sleep. Ahankara Vikasa Artha. When this Ahankara or the I thought is a little bit open, then we see dreams. Swapnaha. When this I thought is somewhat awake, half awake, then we are seeing dreams. When the Ahankara is fully awake, then we see this whole world around us. We see the presence of this body completely and we see the whole world around us. The illusory nature of the individual self is spoken about a little more in the next verse. Vilayopyasya suptyadau sakshina hyanubhuyate etadrisham swasvabhavam vivinakti punah punah. Vilayah api asya suptya adau sakshina hi anubhuyate. Vilayah api, even in absorption, asya suptyadav, in deep sleep, that ahankara or the I thought is absorbed. But the sakshi, in deeply, by the witness, it is indeed anubhuyate, it is experienced by the witness even in deep sleep. Etadrisham, of such nature, swasvabhavam, one's own nature, vivinakti, differentiates again and again, punah punaha. Even its absorption is indeed experienced by the witness. This chidabhasa or the vijnanamaya, which is a reflection of consciousness, which actually distinguishes between what is the self and what is not self. It is the enjoyer, the experiencer. In deep sleep state, the consciousness is observing this chidabhasa also. Hence, a witness alone is real and the chidabhasa is unreal. This consciousness alone is alive, active and awake in all states of being. This consciousness alone is experiencing the chidabhasa in the state of sleep, in the state of rest. So, the chidabhasa is the object and the consciousness is the subject. The consciousness is the witness and chidabhasa is the object that is witnessed. Even though we may not know it at the time of sleeping, when we wake up, we say I, that I is consciousness. Slept well is referring to the experience of the chidabhasa. Because the consciousness has been witnessing it all the time. On waking, the chidabhasa has the memory of sleep and so it is able to say that it slept and got up well. This is the process of anvaya vyatireka. Anvaya means focusing on what is all the time. Vyatireka means constantly giving up or withdrawing the mind from what is not the reality. Then how does the advanced seeker of truth or the man of realization, how do they look upon this chidabhasa? What is their understanding of the chidabhasa? Vivichya nasham nischitya punarbhogam na vanchati mumurshuhu shayito bhumau vivaham kobhivanchati. A very humorous statement, a morbid humor. Vivichya nasham nischitya. Once, when because of the presence of this chidabhasa in the vijnanamaya, the bhokta, the enjoyer, has understood that all the objects of enjoyment are temporary. I am that consciousness which is permanent, and every object of enjoyment comes and goes. I am not that object of enjoyment, or I am not the enjoying or the enjoyer, but I am that consciousness. So this distinguishing has come with the help of the chidabhasa, with the help of the thought process, which is The same thought process that Ishvara uses to create this world, protect this world, and destroy this world, the same thought process is being used for the individual being to realize the true self. So, with the thought process, Vivichya Nasham Nishchitya, this destruction is very clear. Destruction of the world, destruction of the experiences of the world, destruction of every thought, every emotion, and every feeling from moment to moment is very clear. Punaha bhogam na vanchati. Then this person does not want bhoga. This person is not looking forward for this enjoyment or that enjoyment. How? Mumurshuhu shayitaha. A person who is about to die. He is lying down on the, they cast him down on the earth because the prana is leaving him and he is going to die. Will that person want to get married, buy a car, buy a house, or he is going to desire all those things or what? He is on the verge of leaving everything. He is not going to have any desire for all those things. In the same way, when the individual has realized the truth of the falsity of all that he sees and the truth of the witness or the sakshi, and he proceeds towards being absorbed in that witness, is not going to want anything else in this world. So then, how does the enlightened being look upon this transactional world? Every day we have to get up in the morning. Sometimes we get up early, sometimes we get up late, sometimes we are able to do what we want to do, sometimes we are not able to do what we want to do. Sometimes they are very happy days, sometimes they are very sorrowful days, sometimes they are very busy days, sometimes they are very lazy days, sometimes they are very sick days, sometimes they are very healthy days. Differences are there. It is there for the realized person also, the one who has realized this witness consciousness. That person also, this world is existing. Like earlier we saw in the Panchadashi, just because I know that the sky is blue in color, the sky does not stop to appear blue in color to me. Because I have the knowledge that the sky has got no shape, the sky does not stop appearing like a dome shape to me. In the same way, just because the seeker of realization has got the knowledge of the witness consciousness, the world does not stop appearing to him. The world does continue to appear. Jihreti vyavahartum cha bhoktahamiti purvavat chinnana saiva hritaham klishyanarabdhamashnute. Jihreti. This person is ashamed. Vyavahartum. There is a shame in transaction. It is like when you know somebody is making fun of somebody else. There is a very good-natured person in that place, and they are forcing him to participate in the fun because he likes a person who's making fun of the other person. He likes the other person also. So he will participate. He may not make fun, but he will be in this group and he will participate. At the same time, he will also feel shy because he knows that it is not the right thing to do. In the same way, this person knows this world is not real, and yet he is continuing to live and he is participating. How does he participate? Jihreti vyavahartum. He is ashamed to transact in this world. Cha bhoktaham iti purvavat. Like before, I am the enjoyer. I want this. I am going to acquire this. He was going gung-ho behind all the objects. Even in one game with a very realized master, we were all playing a game of throw ball. And in that game, I was dodging everybody else in that group. There was a meditation camp many years ago. There was a meditation camp in which there was a game. The game is throwing the ball. I recall this incident now. It is coming after so many years of memory to just understand what is this jihreti. So we know a game is a game, and after the game is over, we are going to go back and do something else. A game is not so important, but still, when we are participating in the game, the intensity to win or the intensity to make somebody out in the game is very, very strong. So the game involves us standing in the circle, inside the circle, and around the circle, somebody will take the ball and they will throw the ball. You should throw the ball at the person's leg, and that person will become out. And so when the ball comes inside, it does not take us out. One of us will take the ball. I am also standing in the ring sometime, and I'm trying to throw the ball, and I'm throwing it so strongly to make that person out that one other lady who's playing, my God, why are you so ferocious in this game? That is the understanding of taking everything literally. It is only a game. You don't need to make that person out. You can just throw the ball gently. You can be very gentle while playing the game. There's no need to be so ferocious and so strong that you have to make somebody out. So that is not the spirit of playing the game. In the same way, Jihriti Vyavahartu means he knows this world is a game. He knows everything is just an appearance. It is like a real live 3D film or a 5D film or whatever. We go to the Trilarium, we wear glasses and we see the film. And if there is a splash of water, we experience almost water is falling on us. If there is some big sound, we experience a big sound of a lion, as if the lion is coming and roaring in our face. All that we experience. It is more, this world is more real than a trilarium. This world is false. At the same time it is more really real than the virtual reality that we see. So when this person is moving around in this virtual reality called the world, how does he transact with the world? Jihreti, he feels very shy. For example, if he has to scold somebody, he will feel sad. He will feel shy to have to scold that person, but yet that work has to be done. Like an actor is scolding somebody in the drama, that actor is not really scolding that person. The actor is just acting in that scene. He does not really get angry with that person, or he does not really scold that person. He is just acting. Jihreti vyavahartum cha bhoktaham iti purvavat. Because earlier he has been considering to himself to be the enjoyer, and so he feels slightly ashamed. Chinnanasaiva hritaha. Chinnanasa, as if one whose nose is cut off. Like you say, when you snub someone, you say, it is a nose cut, that person is caught. Or really, when a nose is cut off, the Shurpanaka's nose was cut off. She was bragging, and today's Ramayana, Ramanavami. So we are remembering Shurpanaka and how Lakshmana cut off Shurpanaka's nose. Till her nose was cut off, she was going on bragging about Sita, and she was talking very nicely to Rama. She was gaining Rama's attention and all that. But the moment her nose was cut off, she closed her nose and she went shouting towards her brother Ravana, like a person whose nose is cut off. It's a very embarrassing thing to face. Iva Hritaha, this person is ashamed. Klishyan, he endures without complaining. Arabdham, fructifying karma, the prarabdha karma. Ashnute, he experiences all the prarabdha karma, whatever is coming to him. Even if he has to cry, even if he has to shout, or even if he has to engage in some action, he is not putting in real effort to do everything. In the sense, he is not putting in that strenuous effort. It is real effort. It is gentle effort. It is not strenuous, painful, and hurtful effort to do anything. He lives a very easy life, a light life, just a life of experiencing everything and not actually doing something in the world to attain something, to attain some goal. just experiencing, a life of an experiencer. All the time feeling a sense of shyness. This ashamed is not that sense of shame that we say. It is a sense of shyness, to really be very aggressive, to be very pushy, to go after something, to desire something, to intensely want something. All that intensity is not there in the action. Yada swasyapi bhoktritvam mantum jihretyayam tada sakshinyaropayedetat iti kaiva katha vritam. Yada swasya api bhoktritvam mantum jihreti. He is, even for his own enjoyership, he feels ashamed. Such a person is in a constant state of shyness about everything, even for wanting something for himself, asking. It's a state of enlightenment, it's a state of bliss actually. It is even beyond shame, but when they are pushed, like it is like a very, very, very enlightened person will not sit like anybody normal person in the limelight and want to get all the light on that person and want everybody's attention to fall on that person. He will just be somewhere in the corner, and only when he is called, he will show up somewhere for the work that is required. Examples are like Hanumanji. He is in a crowd, even though he is very capable, even though he is very great, even though he can achieve everything, asadhya sadhaka swamin, asadhyam tavakim pada. Even that Hanuman, he will not remember his greatness all the time. He will not remember his glory. He will not remember his power. Somebody has to tell, hey Hanuman, this has to be done. Only you can do it. Jump across the ocean. And then he will jump and do what is required. That is that state of a self-realized master. Being very shy, being very withdrawn, not pushing themselves into anything. Jikreti ayam tada sakshini aropayed etat iti kaiva kathavrutam. So even when he is shy or ashamed to take that state of enjoyership. Wow, I am the enjoyer. All this greatness is for me. All the glory is coming to me. I am the master of this universe. He feels so ashamed to say such things for the body, the physical body also. How will he superimpose the state of enjoyership on the witness, the sakshi, the witness of his own existence is the sakshi? How will he transfer that enjoyership on that witness? That's a question being asked. When the Chidabhasa is ashamed to even, the Chidabhasa is only a reflection. That reflection is existing only for us. The reflection is not feeling that it is reflecting, it is there. For example, the reflection of the sunlight on the wall, only we are seeing that reflection. That reflection is not saying, hey, look here, I am so beautiful. See how beautiful the combination of water and sunlight, how beautiful I am. What beautiful images are being thrown on the wall. The reflection is not shouting at us. Only we are noticing the reflection. In the same way, this Chidabhasa or the reflection of consciousness does not have any individual existence of its own. It is only we who are saying that the reflection is there, this person is existing, this person is existing, we say. So when he is aware of that, Yada Swasya, okay, next, yeah. Yada Swasya, how will that reflecting consciousness make the witness say, transfer this, enjoy, will that reflection on the wall of the sunlight, will it say, will it tell the sun how beautiful your reflection looks? Because that reflection is false. It is only a combination of many factors that are there. There is no reality to it. Will that reflection tell the sun, hey, sun, how beautiful is your reflection? Will it tell the sun? It is not going to happen. Sakshini aropayet Etad iti kaiva katha vrta. Where is the story? It is meaningless to say that even when even when the reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa, is shy to take on the glories or the suffering of the reflection, where is it going to superimpose that reflection on the Sakshi or the witnessing consciousness? The explanation of the words of the first verse, Kasya Kamaya. We saw the first verse. This whole text is an expansion of that whole verse. Kimichan Kasya Kamaya, desiring what and for whose sake. Here the who is the enjoyer. Who is that enjoyer? Kasya Kamaya ends with the introduction to the following words. Ityabhipretya bhoktaram akshipat avishankaya kasya kamayeti tataha sharirānujvaro nahi kasya kamaya iti tataha. For whose sake? The enjoyer's sake. But the enjoyer, there is no entity like the enjoyer. There is no entity like the reflection of consciousness, reflection of sunlight on the wall. That is not a person. There is a sun. The sun is throwing its light. There is water. It is reflecting on the water. The water is moving, and the movement and the brightness of the water is reflected on the wall. So that reflection on the wall does not have an existence. In the same way, there is consciousness and there is moving images of thoughts, feelings, and emotions falling on that consciousness. That reflection of consciousness falling on these thoughts, feelings, and emotions is getting reflected as an individual person called Chidabhasa. That individual reflection has got no reality. So when that individual reflection has got no reality, and that individual also is not superimposing that reality on the witness, so there is no reality to that existence. Iti abhipretya, when I think about this, when I consider this, bhoktaram akshipat, this thought of enjoyer is also rejected. There is no enjoyer. Akshipat ati avishankaya, with no little bit, an inkling of a doubt, the whole thing is rejected. Bhoktaram avishankaya. Kasya kamaya iti, for whose sake? There is nobody there to enjoy. There is no person here to enjoy. Tataha sharira anujvaraha nahi. Therefore, this shariram, this body, is not being disturbed for any particular enjoyer. There is no enjoyer here. There is no experiencer in this place. Sharira anujvaraha. So there is no need to disturb the body. Meaning, he is not going to be lying down like a dead person. He will be moving about the world, doing what needs to be done. The basic needs of life, the basic necessities of life will be taken care of for this person. Because he is a master who has transcended everything, and he will be surrounded by people who take care of the body, that he does not really need to move about so much to take care of himself. The beings of even if he is an individual person in the forest, there is no necessity for him. Food is available, clothing is available, and then he can just roam around the place in this state of self-realization. Kasya kamaya iti tataha sharira anujvaraha nahi. He does not disturb the body for any reason because there is no enjoyer. And he has understood that, he has realized that, and he has understood that he is not the enjoyer, and he is not transferring the enjoyership onto the witness also. There is no particular person in that place to enjoy anything or suffer anything. And so there is nothing to do, nowhere to go for this person. And he remains in that state of bliss. The only experience is of bliss. And whatever happens, whether it is joy, whether it is sorrow, whether it event is a dynamic event, or whether it is a boring event, anything, he is just experiencing that state of joy within, witnessing the presence of the reflection of consciousness within, and that is a joyful experience all the time. Just like that reflection of sunlight on the water and the enlightened water hitting the wall and the patterns of movement gives us joy. In the same way, this person is experiencing the joy of the reflections of consciousness all the time as the body is existing, facing his prarabdha karma without any complaining, without any cribbing, or without any forcefully trying to move something, trying to withdraw from something, or trying to engage in something. Very light life, a life like a flower. That is why the great Mahatmas, when they live, they say they are a moving springtime all the time. Vasantavat lokahitam charantaha. When we are in the presence of such Mahatmas, our life is very blissful. Our life is very joyful. Even if we are facing many difficulties in life, those difficulties just pass away so easily because we are experiencing that state of bliss in the presence of such masters. On this auspicious Sri Rama Navami day, may we remember Bhagavan Sri Rama and sing his name. Rama 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 Ram. Boli Shri Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai, Shri Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai, Shri Umapati Mahadev ki jai, Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Hare Namah Parvati Bataye, Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hari Om.